Hi everyone. I'm going to try to do some videos on a more frequent basis, and today I thought it would be fun to tell you about something that I think not a lot of you even think about, because maybe you do your own neutralizing, but we have a really nice neutralizer. It's we call it neutralizer or neutralizer green, and we decided to shade it more of a sage color instead of a mint color, because it can definitely neutralize many different colors of vinyl. This kit was started and she came out so pink, and I wanted to show you, after I applied some neutralizer, how great the product works and how I do it. She just was started a long time ago, and the person that painted it was, I'll just say, a beginner, and she gave it to me to finish. So I've had it for like 5 years, and I thought maybe this is a good time to do it. So it was painted with Genesis Heat Set paints. It wasn't even painted with Irresistibles, but it's going to be finished with the Irresistibles Heat Set paints. And before I finish it, I thought I should neutralize it. So basically, this is how the legs look now. The arms look much the same way. I've already baked these, and you can already see that it looks like a much more natural skin tone. Obviously, modeling and everything else will make it, more realistic. So what I do is I like to use our thinning medium, especially when I'm doing something that I want a little bit more color instead of being a wash. So I take some, I put it in my little trusty dish over here. And instead of making a wash, which I've done that before too, I decided that it works the best with thinning medium. So I take a little thinning medium out of the jar, put it there, and then mix it together so it's nice and even. Thank God Irresistibles paints don't really clump and don't leave too much particles behind. But anyway, so here we go. So I usually start at the top and just literally brush it on as if you're brushing on a medium, because it's fairly thick and you want it to be, pretty thick. It almost gets a little white after you do it. I'll just do the whole limb so as not to bore you. And sometimes it takes more than once to do this when something is really pink. And we will be coming out with orange vinyl. I know that's a problem too, and gray vinyl, but I think most people have problems making their dolls too pink, and it's frustrating because you work so hard and then you think it looks great and you go to bake it and you're like, oh my god, she looks like a cherry tomato. So then I pounce it out really good all over, making sure that she isn't going to be super glopped. And I'll go back and I'll make sure that I do all the creases with my trusty favorite brush. What is this brush called? It's called, so I guess they call it a liner of sort, but it's a thick liner, and it's great because it cleans out, like when I do my matte varnish. I'm sure you guys have seen my videos, and I'm actually going to do another video shortly too on matte varnish. You just get all the areas where you can't otherwise see sometimes, where there's pooling of the paint, but the creases especially, because you don't want any extra green showing there. And then sometimes I even take one of my little pointy sponges that I absolutely love and just kind of go over it again, mostly in the toes and stuff. And again, a lot of times I do more than one, and sometimes when I take it out of the oven. So you guys get the idea. So I am going to go and bake this now. Or maybe what I'll do really quick is I will put this aside for a second, and I'm going to do the head. Then we can bake them together, and I can come back and I can show you the results. Okay, so that one's kind of ready to go. I'm going to put that off to the side. And here's her sweet little head. This is a Dahlia it's an old, long, sold out limited edition kit by Olga Auer. Well, I might need some more paint. But anyway, see how she's so pink? I mean, I don't think it looks realistic, but that's just me. So I'm just going to glop it on like I did the other one. And stretch it out. Making sure to get all the areas that you want to be covered, which in this case I'm doing the whole head and in the ears and behind the ears and the neck. And looks like I'm going to need a little more paint. As with all of our paints and mediums, we bake it at 265 for approximately 9 to 10 minutes. Let's put that in there. Just stir it real good. So we have a nice textured. Sometimes my fingers are slippery. But I'm finding with this medium, with this color, more gets you further than less. A lot of times we learn that, less is more, but in this one, again, I treat it pretty much like I would treat matte or pour. And I think the thinning in there makes it more like a medium with like a tinted color. If you want to look at it that way, you can. Okay, so we're just about ready to pounce this out. And instead of using a sponge sometimes, which works great, I mean, I know most of you are familiar with that, I have this trusty little tool that I use, and we sell them on our site. They're great. It's called the latex-free foam pouncer sponge. And because I have trouble with my hands, so I like to use a handle instead of squeezing the sponges. And it goes really fast. And I just kind of get off some of the residue and pounce it out like that. Of course, because she's a small doll, I'll have to take a brush, and I call it dry brushing the areas where is too small for the pouncer to fit. Like her little ears, I got to get in there, and this pouncer's kind of big, but you want to make sure you get all the green. Just the same thing as like when you're using the mediums, you got to make sure to get all the whites so that nothing is left behind. Okay, so I'm going to take my little brush here. Make sure all the creases and behind the ears, there's no green showing, that I didn't miss any spots. Obviously, good lighting is critical. Stick it in her poor little nose. Clean that out. Her eyes look kind of goopy. So you got to get that clean. Make sure all her creases are clean. Oh, there's a big green one right there. She's so little. So petite. It's been years since I've had this kit. Okay, so I think she is ready for the oven. I will do the other leg as well and come back to you with the results. Hello again. I am back after doing 2 bakes of our neutralizer green on the very pink little Adalia, and you can see just by looking at her, she looks way more natural skin tone now. Of course, she needs lots of details, but I think that it came out amazing. The back of her head was literally bright pink, and it's got that natural, nice skin tone. Her lips are a bit orange, but we're gonna fix her up, and I'm going to do another video in a little while with some details to show you some of my favorite little tricks with details. But I just had to show that to you. And I don't know if you guys remember, which you don't, but I'll remind you. Her knees were cherry red. And now they're just naturally blushed looking. And I'm so impressed with this product. I can't even begin to tell you. So when I got this kit, I'm like, oh my gosh, that's a disaster. But I put her away and figured she'd come in handy someday for a rainy day. And look at that. She really, the skin tone just came out so nice, and just really, really happy with that. So I hope that you guys will try it sometime, neutralizer green or vinyl neutralizer. And she certainly helped little Adalia, and I really hope that you guys try it. So thanks for watching. Until next time.